What's going on, you guys? Welcome to the Racy Podcast. This is your host, Cristopher Zamora. Welcome to the show. So today, I want to speak to you about the Tyson Fury fight that just happened. He went against Francis Ngannou, which was a UFC fighter. A UFC fighter that just transferred to boxing. This was his very first match, guys. And Tyson Fury was having a fight with Francis Ngannou. He actually got knocked down by him on round 3. Can you guys believe that? Everybody was going against Francis, man. Nobody gave him a chance, including me. That's just something cool to see, man. It's just awesome just seeing somebody who comes out of nowhere just almost beats the guy who is the boxing champ of the world for the heavyweight division. This was basically like the Muay Rocky. Yeah, Rocky got a chance by the heavyweight champion of the world, and he almost beat him. And people might have thought that, yeah, Rocky did win that match, but they just gave the decision to Apollo Creed because he is the face of boxing at the time. The same thing happened, I believe, with this fight with Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury. Same thing, man. I don't know why boxing always does this, man, but like I made a podcast before with the problem with boxing. One of the biggest problems is robbery. Robbery means in boxing that boxers, they're close to winning the fight. Well, they were mostly like dominated the fight, right? But then they gave it to another person. That's what I believe is what happened on this one as well. Francis was just doing so well. Like everybody thought that he was gonna lose very badly and that he was gonna get gassed out like in the 4th round or so. His stamina did hold up almost the whole fight. That's crazy, man. I really thought that he really wasn't gonna hang in there until like round 4 or so, but he did. He did look so good. Damn. And Tyson Fury, I bet that he was underestimating Francis by a bunch, by a margin, man. Now, I don't really blame him because Francis is just a new guy and he's just barely coming into boxing. He's mostly known as a UFC fighter. He's just transitioning to boxing. And this was going to be his very first boxing match against the heavyweight champ of the world at the time. And it was Tyson Fury. Damn. It was just so cool, man. So awesome. Anything can happen, man, in any sport. Francis just came into boxing and just dominated the champ of the world. Just like that, man. And I actually had to give him at least 6 rounds. It was 10 rounds that they fought on. And Tyson Fury, I believe he only won 4 rounds. Francis won 6 rounds, and Tyson Fury only won 4 rounds. That's how I grade these rounds. Yeah, it wasn't even a close fight, I believe. Like Tyson Fury, he was struggling against him. Like right after the knockdown, he tried to go for the clinch. But Francis, he just pushed him away and just did what he did. Like he actually was being very technical against him. I was surprised, man. I thought he was like a Deontay Wilder, like he was trying to go for the huge punch. But no, man. Francis was going at him, being technical and being very patient with his shots. That's how a proper boxer should fight. Yes, getting the KO is cool and all, but like being very technical and also knocking down the opponent. Now that's cool, man. That's badass. Almost like how you say, like a Terrence Crawford in a way, but Francis, he's a way bigger guy and a heavyweight. He looked good. He looked very good in the boxing match. His speed was on point. He was strong as hell. Tyson was underestimating him the whole time, I believe. Even though he says that he was giving him a chance and that he knew that this was going to be a hard fight, I don't think he thought that it was going to be that hard, to be honest. So, yeah, man. That was awesome that Francis got an opportunity to show what he can do. The only other two people that went up against each other, like before them, it was about 7 years ago, I believe. It was Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather. Conor McGregor came into the boxing realm and fought the greatest champion in the world at the time. And Conor McGregor was also a UFC guy. It was a long time ago that I saw this fight. Jesus, it was like in 2016, I believe. It's such a long time ago already. Time flies, man. They just need to slow down a bit, okay? But yeah, Conor McGregor, I believe that he did okay against Floyd Mayweather, but there was no way for him to win, man. People really wanted him to beat Floyd Mayweather. I was one of those people, to be honest, because damn, Floyd Mayweather, he was just a cocky person, and I just wanted him to get KO'd, but that didn't happen, sadly. Conor McGregor wasn't the guy to beat him. And also, that fight was also sanctioned, which means that it counted for the records. Conor McGregor did lose to Floyd Mayweather, and Floyd Mayweather beat him, and that was his 50th win against any other opponent that he has fought. I mentioned before in the podcast that win, to be honest, if we look at it for like 50 years from now, I don't think it's not really going to count, because he did fight a UFC fighter, and I don't think, well, probably just the casual fans are going to say, oh, this guy has 50-0 record. But like the experts, like people who do follow boxing, they are going to think that, really, this guy actually got a sanctioned fight against a UFC fighter and beat him? Weak. Oh yeah, man. Rocky Marciano is probably the only closest guy who has beaten every single boxer that he has fought. And Floyd Mayweather Jr., his last fight was against Conor McGregor. Yeah, man. So I have no idea how people are going to look at it from 50 years from now. But like I said, I believe that fight should not have been counted as a sanctioned fight. But it was. And now for this fight, it was also sanctioned as well. Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury. It counted on the records. And this became Tyson Fury's 34th win against any opponent that he has fought before. Francis has one loss against Tyson Fury. And that's his record right now. 0 wins, 1 loss, and 0 draws. But he did so well, man. It just sucks that I want to say that it was a robbery, but like, still, Tyson Fury, he knows that he lost that fight, man. Like, you should have seen his face right at the ending when they were giving the decisions. I believe he was surprised. And there was also no post-conference as well. Maybe he didn't want to answer all the questions that the media was going to ask him too. Yeah, that was very surprising. I never really seen that before in the fight. Like right after the fight happened. They always give post-conference like right after the fights to see like how the boxers are doing, like what they could have done better. But in this fight, there wasn't any post conference. That was strange. There should have been one to see what was Tyson Fury going to answer at the time, but there really wasn't. There was just only like a day later. Maybe they gave him time so he can think of his answers. I don't know. To be honest, I really have no idea. But Francis, man, he was doing so well. I gave him 6 rounds, and Tyson Fury 4 rounds. He was badass, man. That was a good fight, and nobody was expecting him to be that good for Francis, man. Nobody was expecting that, including me, like I said before. Nobody gave him a chance, dude. And just out of nowhere, he just came and actually beat Tyson Fury. He should have won that fight, but the judges had to give it to the boxer because he is the boxer. And they're going to have another fight. Now they changed the date to February. Like, it was supposed to be around December that he was going to fight Alexander Usyk, Tyson Fury. He was going to fight him around December time. But then they changed it to February. Hopefully this fight doesn't get canceled, man, because that would really suck. It's basically a fight that everybody has been waiting for. These are the best of the best right now in the heavyweight division for boxing. Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. We will find out, hopefully, who is the better boxer. To be honest, in my opinion, I still believe that Tyson Fury is still going to beat Alexander Usyk. That's just what I think. Usyk is very good. He's a very good technical boxer. But like, what sets Tyson Fury apart from Usyk is just that he just clinches a lot, but he goes in and tries to knock down the guy out. And he's also a very good technical boxer. Usyk is just a technical boxer, but he doesn't, like, I don't think he will go in against Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury he's way too big against Usyk. But Usyk did beat Anthony Joshua twice. That's why it's gonna be a good fight. If Usyk actually pulls it out, damn, that'd be awesome, man. It would be so cool if he actually does beat him. But like I said, I do believe that Tyson Fury is gonna beat Usyk once they fight on February. And hopefully the fight doesn't get canceled, because that would really be disappointing, right? Yeah, man. Good job, Francis. If you're listening to this, man, good job, dude. Now everybody's paying attention to you, man. It's so crazy what the UFC did to him. Like, they just threw him out. Like, Dana White, I believe he just wasn't getting along with Francis because he was asking for a lot of money, I guess. That's what I heard in the social media world, that supposedly he was just asking for too much money and the UFC didn't want to pay him that much. And that's why they just took him out of the UFC. He defeated his opponent before he actually left. Ciryl Gane, he was an undefeated guy at the time, and Francis beat him. He took his O away in the UFC. And then that's when Francis actually left the UFC and tried to go to the PFL, I believe, which was another MMA company he was going to go to. And now he actually got the fight against Tyson Fury. And he showed the world, man. He showed the world that he can actually fight. And he's just a great competitor in any realm of fighting. It could be MMA or even boxing. It's so cool, man. So it's so badass just seeing this guy. He's coming out of nowhere, man. He just did good facing the heavyweight champ of the world. And he should have won, man. But yeah, it's boxing. The judges, they always go for the popular guy. I guess if both boxers are popular, then yeah, they actually do give it to the actual winner who deserves the win. But for this one, man, like I said, I gave Francis 6 rounds and Tyson Fury 4 rounds. We're going to see who Francis is gonna fight next in boxing. But to be honest, I believe that he should fight Deontay Wilder next. I have said in the past that Deontay Wilder makes a good matchup for Francis. Both of them are heavy punchers. Francis is the strongest man in the world right now. He's the strongest puncher in the world right now. And probably Deontay Wilder as well, but only for boxing. So it'll be a good matchup against each other. But will we ever see the fight? I hope so, man. I hope so. For next year, around mid of summer, it'll be cool to see it, man. Hopefully it does happen. That's gonna be a one hell of a fight to see. But Andrew Reese versus Deontay Wilder should happen as well. I don't know, man. The heavyweight division is kind of stale right now. Like the only proper fight that we had this year for the heavyweight division was Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou. That turned out to be a banger. Nobody was expecting this fight to be competitive, and it was, man. It was. And yeah, guys, I believe that is it for this podcast. Hey, thank you so much for listening. If you did made it this far, guys, make sure to follow this podcast on wherever it is you're listening to it. If you are listening to it on Spotify, YouTube, Pandora, make sure to follow it, and also recommend this podcast to a friend or neighbor that actually likes listening to stuff about combat sports. Maybe they will enjoy this podcast as much as you do listening to it. And that is it, guys. Again, thank you so much for listening, and subscribe to the podcast. I'll see you guys next Tuesday. I always post the podcast at 11 a.m. Central Time. So if you guys are wondering when I post them, that's the time I always post them. That is it, guys. I'm out. Take care and live to the fullest. Bye.